Hey, reach up there and pull those belts tight. One more time, you're watching the original Rebels Racing League.
Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting's live coverage of the HP Consulting 150 here from Michigan International Speedway in the Sunday Night Trucks Original Rebels League, sponsored by Whole Sheet Metal Heating and Air Conditioning. My goodness, it's been a long night already. Great race in the last one, exciting finish. We saw Andy Kurtz get his first win. We saw Steve Loving win the regular season championship. And tonight, it is the last race before the playoffs begin in the Sunday Night Truck Series. Let's take a look at those points, or how those points are shaping up here coming into tonight. Garrett Kinder is currently your leader by 11 points over Tyler Gackey. Zach Wetstein sits back in third. Mickey Isaac, Jamie Barkus, top five. Now, Zach's missed a couple of races, but as you can see, currently with 5 wins, keeping himself up at the top of the board. Now, Jamie Barkus, Josh Smith, both tied for 5th place. Spencer Gay, Charles Steers, Charles Feltz, and Brandon Wallace round out your top 10. Now, down at the cut line, you can see Tyler Rice, Todd Schott. They're currently in. Jesse Nekula, Alex Veith on the outside looking in. So we'll have to see how this shakes up. Kyle Roberts sitting back in 20th. Got the win last week. See if he can keep that momentum going. Have another great finish here. Sneak into the playoffs towards the bottom. Speaking of last week, as I just mentioned, Kyle Roberts was your winner last week. With Logan Sturgeon coming home second, Zach Wetstein in third, Charles Stevens and Jason Lottridge round out the top 5. So a great race last week at Talladega. Let's see what we got going out on track right now as we got about 6.5 minutes before qualifying begins. Qualifying is going to start a little bit later. They had a little issues getting everything set up this morning or before the race, but now everything's ready to rock. Let's see who's out on track. Sam Wetstein just pulled off there. Christian Dedman and Garrett Kinder running side by side in practice. Getting some practice on those green flag pit stops. They must have been watching the last race, as we had one caution that came out on lap 14 in the first race and then went green flag the rest of the way. So getting those green flag pit stops out of the way and getting some practice in them could be a game changer here tonight. Zach Wetstein currently to the top of the board. Jeff Paisley, Christian Dedman, Garrett Kinder, Sam Wetstein, your top 5. Peg Leg Feltz sitting 6th in points, and we had a special tribute to him on Friday night for his cousin who just won a battle with leukemia. So the race was named after her. So congratulations again to Ashley Kindler for getting that great win over cancer. So Chuck here having a great practice so far, sitting in 6th. I'll have to see how he comes in, as he's looking to sneak his way into the playoffs as well. Again, thank you for joining us tonight here on Intensity Broadcasting. It looks like practice is over. It looks like they're going to end practice here to get this race underway. So Chuck currently 9th in points, so having a great beginning, and qualifying just about to start. See who the first cars out on track are. It looks like Ken Farmer in the 59 will be one of the first cars on pit road. Or on the track, I should say. Sorry, I was getting a bunch of PMs letting me know that the race was being advanced, which I appreciate. Everybody out there. Again, thanks for joining us here on Intensity for the... Well, I have Outlaw Trucks up there. I got the wrong name up there. There we go. Thanks for joining us tonight here for the Sunday Night Truck Series here at Intensity Broadcasting. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitch, we appreciate you coming out and enjoying the race here tonight. From Michigan, we got Ken Farmer starting his qualifying attempt as we speak. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. It really does help us out no matter what platform you're watching on. Also, if you're watching on eRacing TV, we appreciate you watching there as well. What's eRacing TV? Well, it's a free app that you can download for your Fire Stick or Roku and watch live iRacing 7 nights a week right on the big screen. So check that out. eRacing TV. We say Phil Manzo says, go Josh Oswald, win this race. We already got our first chat in tonight, seeing who's cheering on who, and Phil Manzo's cheering on Josh Oswald. So it doesn't look like we'll have any EOLs for the race tonight. It's currently Zach Wetstein still rocking that Colts paint job. Currently up on pole with a 39.99. Sam Wetstein with a 40.08. If he finishes up his qualifying, Christian Denman in third. Kyle Roberts, last week's winner, currently in fifth. A lot of drivers still out there. You see Mickey Isaac out on track. Get his qualifying done. See Dave Jones in the 10. Now I know checking here, see who's that does not look like we'll have any EOLs tonight. So Patrick Dravick just jumped up to the top of the board, besting Zach Wetstein with a 39.93. Phil, this is Josh up in the booth tonight, not Eddie. Just so you know, we're here at Intensity tonight. Kevin Kinder says race 1 was a good race. Race 2 will be better, fingers crossed. I think it will be a great race tonight here with the Rebels trucks. As the Outlaw Series was a great race. One caution came out on lap 14. It was green flag the rest of the race. And had some green flag pit stops and an exciting end. So we'll have to see if we get that here tonight as well. Pegleg out on track now. Starting his qualifying attempt. Again, we were talking about him just a few moments ago as Friday night we had a race named after his cousin who just beat leukemia, and being October, being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we should be aware of all cancers out there, but let's think about our sisters out there, the women that we've lost to breast cancer and those who are still fighting it right now. Our thoughts are always with those people who are fighting the hard battles. Let's see how Peg Leg qualifies here as he's coming off of turn number 2 and onto the backstretch here at Michigan. As I was talking about in the first race, we'll see a lot of drafting and we'll see a lot of movement down this backstretch because the backstretch is very bumpy. Everybody tries to get right up against that wall where all the bumps are, and you can see trucks getting a little out of shape. As they were talking about in the interviews in the last race, the trucks start off pretty loose to begin with. Peg Leg jumps up to second with a 39.97. Bumps Zach Wetstein back to third. And he's still on it here. So what I was saying was the trucks start off pretty loose, then they tighten up. Then around lap 15 or so, we'll see the trucks actually start to shift back to the loose side. So we'll see how these guys are able to hold on to it as the race goes on. Here comes Peg Leg. Back to the bottom down here. Across the line. As we've seen all night, the second lap is slower than the first, but Peg Leg up in the second. So a great qualifying attempt for Chuck here at Michigan. See Alex Viethot on track. Well, it looks like he's pulling off here. Josh Lokovitz out on track, just coming off of pit road. Lokovitz known as the Super Speedway King. We'll have to see how he handles the draft here at Michigan, as it's very similar to a super speedway here in the trucks, as Josh is going to come across the line to start his first of 2 laps here in qualifying. Phil, thank you. I appreciate that. Saying great job as always. Josh, I do appreciate you guys tuning in here on Intensity Broadcasting and putting up with me every Sunday night in the doubleheader. As Josh Lokovitz comes off of turn number 4, he's going to shoot down to the apron here. Try to take the short way around the track. There's a big bump in the apron right there that can really unsettle the truck. And Lokovitz is going to jump up into the 5th position here on his first lap with a 40.05. Let's see what he can do on his second lap. As we've seen all night, the second lap tends to be just a little bit slower than the first. So he rockets down the backstretch, and you'll see that truck bouncing all around. Right there, a couple big bumps as you're about to enter the corner, which can really upset the truck, and especially if you're pushing another truck or being pushed, it can be quite treacherous there through those bumps. As Lokovitz right down again against the grass, comes across the line and runs just a little bit slower with a 40.08 as opposed to his 40.05 that he qualified with. See Gary Wright out there in the 11. Crossing the line for his second lap here. And gets through it into the grass. Does not really improve his time. Runs a 41.10. Alex Viethot on track just finished his qualifying with a 40.42. As we have about 15 seconds left before we grid up here. And we get ready for 75 laps here from Michigan International Speedway. So let's take a look at our starting grid here. And of course, your starting grid is brought to you by Magic Mike Motorsports. And your Peg Leg Chuck Felts, a Peg Leg Felts Pole Award goes to Patrick Drabick in the 07 Peg Leg himself is going to be starting on the outside in spot number 2. Zach Wetstein in the 4 machine, he'll be rolling off in 3rd, with Jeff Paisley in the 7 in 4th. Josh Lokenvitz up into the 5th position, with Sam Wetstein rolling off in 6th. 7th will be the coach, Christian Dedman, and Charlie Stevens Jr. in the 88 in 8th. Josh Oswald in the 17, he'll be rolling off in 9th, with Garrett Kinder in the 13th in 10th. Our last week's winner, Kyle Roberts, he'll be rolling off 11th, with Tyler Gackey in the 16, rolling off in 12th. Dave Jones in the 10, rolling off 13th, with Brett Grunwald in the 5 in 14th. Row 8 will find the 01 of Mickey Isaac in the 00 of Todd Schott, followed by Josh Smith and Jim McClendon in your 9th row. Aaron Adcock, he'll be rolling off in 19th, and Brandon Wallace outside of him in row number 10. Mike Veith in the 9, he'll be rolling off 21st, with Spencer Gay in the 69 in 22nd. Then Alex Veith in the 51 in 23rd. William Griffith in the Griffdozer machine, rolling off in 24th. Ken Farmer, your series sponsor, in 25th. Tyler Rice running the Save the Tatas machine in 26th. Gary Wright in 27th, and then Jason Lotridge in the 48 machine will be rolling off 28th. So Patrick Drabick's going to lead him down the backstretch here and take the inside on the initial start. The Peg Leg Felts again to that outside lane. Great to see a great starting position from Peg Leg. It's always fun to watch him. He's been one to watch. Nobody puts more hours of practice in than Peg Leg for sure, and it's really starting to show off as he's able to outqualify Zach Wetstein in that Colts machine. As they come off of turn number 4, the pace car is going to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. So we watch from high above. Green flag is in the air. And we're racing here at Michigan International Speedway, and a great jump from everybody right up front. They're side by side as they work their way into turn number 1. Zach Wetstein, though, taking advantage of that bottom lane as Peg Leg is getting freight trained up there on the top. Jeff Paisley's going to try to fight with Peg Leg as they come off turn number 2. Zach Wetstein right in the tire tracks of Patrick Drabick as they come off a turn, or off the backstretch and into turn number 3. And we saw in the first race, you want to make those new tires work when you can, as Drabick pitches it low off the corner. That's going to allow Wetstein to get the big run off the high side. They're 3 wide with Jeff Paisley in the middle, Chuck Pegleg on the outside. Drabick's going to fall all the way back to 4th. Here comes Paisley now battling for the lead on the inside, as Wetstein's going to get the big push on the outside from Felts. And again, you're going to see a little bit of drafting here at Michigan, who can get the big push down the backstretch and who can keep the momentum up off the corners. Drabick now fighting back on the inside right behind Paisley, trying to get back around Felts, which he's going to now. They're going to be battling for the lead as Paisley is going to jump up in front of Wetstein. Here comes Lokovitz down on the bottom as well. As I mentioned, he's the super speedway king, and with this running a little bit like a super speedway, we'll see just exactly what he can do up here at the front as Drabick now motors around the 7 of Jeff Paisley to retake the lead. Little slide job up in front of Paisley. Oh, Paisley has to check up to keep from getting in the back of the 7. That's going to kill his momentum. That kills everybody's momentum as Drabick's able to keep moving forward. And here comes Lokovitz down on the bottom again. He's got Sam Wetstein down on the bottom, trying to give him the push here up to the front. While that's going on, Drabek's starting to pull away just a little bit. And Pegleg's starting to come back into the mix here as well. Lokovitz now working that bottom side. Jeff Paisley thought about pulling out, ended up tucking back in behind Drabek, and he's going to continue to follow in the tire tracks of that 07 machine. But here comes Lokovitz down on the bottom side, clearing Zach here as they come off of turn number 4. Now Wetstein with the big run on the high side, being pushed by Pegleg. And Sam Wetstein, the senior Wetstein, coming into the picture as well. Now he's trying to get a good run on the bottom lane underneath Pegleg, and he's going to get right underneath Zach here as they come down the backstretch. Sam now left all alone there on that bottom side. Nobody there to give him the draft. Although now Jeff Paisley runs down to the bottom. That's going to get a little bit of a draft here, as now Zach's going to run down to the bottom. Try to help his father out as they come down the front stretch. Paisley, though, almost cuts off Zach right there. Almost chops the nose. Now we're going to be 3 wide. No, Lokovitz backed out of it wisely to keep it from going 3 wide. As they come down the backstretch and they all spread out. Drabek using a little bit of a defensive line, trying to break that draft. As Zach now down to the bottom underneath Jeff here. He's going to push up the track just a little bit. Run Paisley up the track. That's going to give Lokovitz the opportunity to try to push it 3 wide, but he's going to stay tucked right behind that 7 machine. And now Drabek's in trouble as the pack has caught him. And they got a head of steam. Drabek's going to go down to the low side, trying to block Zach here off of turn number 2. Looks like Garrett Kinder making some moves already up into the 8th position. Our points leader trying to move himself forward. As Jeff Paisley now fighting on the outside. Trying to take the lead away, but here comes Wetstein. Zach with the big move on the bottom. Strong run, but no help. Can he get around Jeff here with the draft here from the 07 of Drabek? Drabek now pulls up in front of Paisley. That's going to kill Zach's run, but now Drabek comes back down to the bottom. That's going to help Zach through the corner, but as they come off the corner, Drabek's going to jump back up to the high side. Now he jumps low again. I think he got a little loose there off of turn number 2. Great battle here up at the front. Great battle all over the track right now as Sam Wetstein is getting freight trained on the low side. Kinder's trying to get around him, and he's going to try to sneak up in front of Tyler Gackey if there's room, but it doesn't look like there's going to be, so Sam's going to continue to go backwards. Sam doing everything he can to hold on that bottom lane as he's going to clear Kinder this time and gets the great run, pulls right up on the back bumper of Chuck Feltz and continues to move himself forward now. Up front, Zach is still trying to get back around. Oh, Garrett Kinder went off track. Couple in the back around. Caution is out. And that's going to bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. See if we can see exactly what happened here. Whoops. Let's try that again. We see Kinder now. Oh, gets into Charles Stevens. And also, Stevens tags Sam Wetstein. Sam comes back down the track right in front of Kinder, just nowheres to go. Hard contact between the 13 and the 98. Stevens seems to get right on through without much problems, but Kinder and Wetstein, Sam Wetstein, taking the brunt of that. So Patrick Drabick continues to lead. We'll have to see if they come into the pits here. Couple comments. Paul Passon says he's watching. Soulgirl93 says, let's go Griffin Kinder. And Stacy Adcock says, let's go Aaron. Get that 23 to the front. Excuse me. Pardon me. I was trying to mute it before I had a chance to. And the entire field comes down pit road. So let's get the camera view here set up so we can watch the race off pit road. Kind of got like a little drone view here. That green, those two green cones, those will be the what we're looking for here for the race off of pit road. And Drabick is going to beat Zach off just barely. Josh Lokovitz comes off third. Jeff Paisley, Chuck Pegleg, and you can see the scramble off of pit road. We'll sort it out after we watch everybody come off here. So Drabick will be your winner off of pit road. Tyler Rice in the 6 truck decided to stay out. Only truck not to pit. So we'll see if that hurts him here, as we've seen tires play such an important part of the last race. We'll have to see if maybe Tyler saw something in that last race that's able to help him out here, or if he's just trying to use a little bit of strategy here to keep himself up at the front. But again, Patrick Drabick getting off pit road first, so he's going to restart second. Zach Wetstein, Josh Lokovitz, Jeff Paisley, Chuck Pegleg Feltz, Aaron Adcock comes off in 7th. Charles Stevens 8th. Tyler Gackey and Josh Oswald, your top 10. I do see a couple drivers taking fuel only. William Griffith in the Griff Dozer machine, which will continue to be the ongoing joke here. The lights are off on the pace car as we come down the backstretch. I know we've mentioned it already, the Griff Dozer. Everybody's seen our other Wreckage Rewind here with Griff showing his bulldozing skills. But Tyler Rice is going to choose the inside lane here on those older tires. We'll have to see how tires really play out here, see if he's able to hold on and keep himself up front. Or if Patrick Drabick with those new tires can get himself out front as we get pace car pulls off onto pit road. Field comes back to the Geico restart zone, and Tyler Rice immediately to the gas, trying to keep those old tires out front the best he can. As they come into turn number 1, Drabick's going to look down to the bottom. And those old tires are going to be no match for Drabick on that low side. There goes Wetstein right around as well. And as they come down the backstretch, Zach Wetstein now trying to get to the inside to try to take the lead away from Drabick. And Zach's going to clear. Patrick gets a little pushy there. Oh! Lokovitz goes around. Gets pushed down pit road. Able to hang on to it and save it. What a save with that 79 machine. No caution. Now Pegleg up in the second, battling with Patrick Drabick. As they're side by side for second. We see Brett Grunwald up into the mix as well. Got a little three-wide racing in the back as Tyler Rice on those older tires continues to struggle here. He continues to go backwards, but right now Zach Wettstein has pulled out to a pretty significant lead over Patrick Drabick. And let's take a look at what happened to Lokovitz here. As he was forced to... Oh, he just lost it all by himself and then gets hit by Jeff Paisley. And a great job keeping that off the wall. Both the inside and outside walls. As that was a killer save there for Lokovitz. He's now going to have to drive his way back up through the field. Patrick Drabick retakes the second position, trying to run down Zach Wettstein. Pegleg Feltz sitting in third with Aaron Adcock right behind him. Aaron having a great run. Up 15 positions, up into the fourth position. Patrick Drabick now trying to get around Zach Wettstein. Wettstein up on the high side. He's getting a little loose up there. Now they're side by side back for the lead. And you'd think the low side would be the advantage, but we've seen the high side getting the runs off the corner. As here comes Zach trying to fight back on the high side. Almost gets into the back of the 07. Drabick taking a defensive line down the backstretch. Here comes Zach back on the high side. Trying to use a little side draft here to get himself back up into the lead. You see Pegleg getting a little loose back there behind. As they come across the line, Drabick's going to have it by about a half a truck length this lap. But here comes Zach still trying to fight back on that high side. And while they're battling side by side, it's allowing Aaron Adcock and Chuck Feltz to make their way up and try to catch them and try to battle themselves here for the lead. And Charles Stevens Jr., who was involved in that wreck, currently running up in the 5th position, so able to keep himself moving forward. Now we're starting to see a lot of single file racing, which is what we saw in the first race. As we know, they can go about 35 to 38 laps on fuel. Which would put the pit window right around lap 45 or so. That'd be a question if they can make it to the end from there. Jonah Colbert says, let's go Pegleg. Soulgirl93 says, please use that as much as you can. I would love to, but we have to use the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. And Chris McLean says, let's go Aaron Adcock, Chuck Feltz. And Soul Girl says, let's go Reaper Racing. As REC Reaper Racing have a little bit of issues with Garrett Kinder getting involved in that first caution. Kinder, though, let's see where he's running now. Kinder is actually currently a lap down, as we have caution back out on the track. It looks like it was for Tyler Rice in the 6. And that's going to bring up another Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. See if we can see what happened to Tyler here as he's coming down the backstretch. Running up on the high side, he's got Jason Lottridge. Oh, Lottridge misjudged right there and gets into the side of the 6. Sends Tyler right around, takes the long slide. Fortunately, doesn't hit anything. So he's going to be able to get that truck spun around here, back on track, and doesn't look like there's any damage to that truck at all. So he's going to be in good shape here as we're seeing everybody come back down pit road. I don't know if they're going to be taking tires here. Looks like it's going to be a couple of trucks are taking tires. I figured it would be fuel only, but tires going on most of the trucks here. A couple drivers taking fuel only as Patrick Drabick, Zach Wedstein. Ooh, Aaron Adcock just barely beats Pegleg off the pit road. And we'll sort this one all out. But Patrick Drabick again beating everybody off pit road, and this time Dave Jones in the 10. Staying out on track this time. So I have to see how those tires work out. And Soul Girl 93, I totally agree. See what I can do. So a couple drivers choosing to take fuel only. Jason Lottridge going to restart 12th after taking fuel only. William Griffith, Christian Dedman, all taking either 2 tires or fuel only. Soul Girl says, as Seth's older sister, she likes to give him crap when she can. So we'll see if we can sneak that Griff snowplow back into one of the wreckage rewinds in a little bit. Hopefully we won't have to use that again, as Dave Jones is going to lead them back to the Geico restart zone. Patrick Drabick's going to be out on the outside. And we got Zach Wetstein and Pegleg Feltz as we're going to take you from high above for the restart here. And Dave Jones takes off right at the beginning of the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. And much like we saw earlier, those new tires are definitely no match for Dave Jones on those older tires, as he is quickly going to fall backwards here as they get 3 wide off of turn number 2. Pegleg in the middle, Adcock on the bottom as they go into turn number 2. Pegleg And Adcock gets real loose on the bottom side there. Able to hold on to it though. But he's going to slide all the way back into the 4th position. Zach Wetstein and Patrick Drabick now going at it with those fresh tires. Trying to make hay while the sun shines. As they come down the backstretch, they're starting to pull away from Peg Leg just a little bit. Using a little bit of draft here. Almost a little bump draft down the backstretch, trying to stretch their lead away from the rest of the field so that they can race it out there at the end. Now Drabick making an aggressive move down to the bottom, trying to break the draft of the 4. We worked his way down the backstretch. Now Aaron Adcock and Peg Leg are drafted, but here comes Wetstein up on the high side. Try to get a run. Just not able to do it though as they come off of turn number 4. Now Wetstein back to the outside, trying to battle back. Drabick runs him up the track just a little bit. Tries to break his momentum as they come into turns 1 and 2. Pegleg and Adcock have made their way up into the mix here. Also, Tyler Gackey and Charles Stevens right here in the mix. As they're side by side for the lead down the backstretch. Who's going to get the advantage as there's no real help coming from behind for either driver as they work their way into turn number 3. Now Pegleg right up on the back bumper. Almost to the back bumper of Zach Wetstein, trying to give him the push by. Here comes Adcock, though, looking down to the inside of Feltz. They come across the line. Adcock trying to move himself up into position here. Now they're side by side for the 3rd spot. Now everybody in line, that's going to cause Adcock to fall back. Again, everybody kind of just running in line right now. Jeff Paisley now with his teammate Brent Grunwald right in front, trying to get around Josh the Jet Oswald. Moving Oswald back into the 10th position. Now we've got a battle here as Adcock fighting back on the bottom side. Yet again, trying to get something going here. But nobody wants to really help him out. And right behind, the 47, Josh Smith is starting to come into the picture. As Adcock clears Stevens Jr. And now can these trucks get in line here and catch our leaders? And while all that's going on, we see Brett Grunwald and Jeff Paisley side by side. I thought they were running in line here to try to catch up to the leaders, but these Arcadian Motorsports machines are going to switch positions and continue to battle each other hard for 8th and 9th position. Patrick Drabick continues the lead here. Zach Wetstein again trying to look to the high side, not able to do it. But now Zach's going to get the run as Pegleg starting to catch up to Zach on the high side to give him a little bit of a push. So you come into turns 3 and 4. Drabick's going to have the advantage on that low lane yet again. So it looks like that low lane really playing a factor here. Seemed like in the first... Oh, Drabick up into the wall. And that's going to allow Wetstein to get right on by as Drabick's going to lose a ton of momentum. Might have done a little damage to that car as well. as he's steadily falling back now. Oh, he catches Pegleg. Pegleg hits the wall again. Pegleg able to continue on, but Drabic, a lot of damage now as he just pounded the wall again. Drabic is going to fall backwards in his goat locker machine. Tough break for that 07. We saw it in the first race with Tracy Parsons having a great run and then catching the wall and falling all the way back. And now we're seeing it here with the 07 of Patrick Drabic, who's continuing to fall like a rock here. Outside the top 10, outside the top 15 now. Up front, Aaron Adcock to the high side, trying to get around Pegleg. Pegleg on the bottom. Pegleg's going to tuck up in front of Gacky, but Gacky's going to dive down to the bottom now, trying to get a moot run on Pegleg. And here comes Pegleg battling back on the high side. Kevin Kinder asks what kind of damage does Garrett have? Well, Garrett, sitting way back here, currently in last place. His truck looks like that looks like he's just got a little bit of front end damage to the right front of that machine, to the left front of that machine. Unfortunately for him, it's enough to keep him slow. He's running pretty good times as we got a battle still up here with Pegleg and Gacky. So Kinder is about a second off the pace with the damage that he has. Currently running last. One lap down, trying to battle with Brandon Wallace to get that lucky dog. A little further back, Tyler Rice, who was involved earlier in a spin, working his way back up here. He's trying to get around the 0-0 of Todd Schott. As they come up, but Todd's going to get back around him. This is a battle for 20th position. Spencer Gay in a battle with Christian Dedman. Oh, Dedman having some connection issues. A couple times I've seen him blink, and he got Griff right behind in the Griff Dozer machine. Pegleg now. We've got Marines versus Air Force here. I love the look of that Thunderbirds truck that Josh Smith runs. Always fun to see those unique paint jobs out there. Pegleg moves himself back in the 4th position. So it looks like the fuel window should be opening up around lap number 50. So we're working lap number 38 down the backstretch. Ooh, Aaron Adcock gets shuffled out of position there from Gacky. Oh, Adcock caught the wall. He's got heavy right side damage, much like we saw Drabic have. You can see the right side of that truck is bowed up there, and that's going to hurt Adcock here as he's going to pull right in front of Josh Oswald, but trying to stay in the draft here. Oswald moving down to the bottom side to shuffle Adcock back. So we're seeing a couple drivers get really tight and smacking the wall here. And Adcock, much like his uncle Tracy, having some issues catching the wall and destroying the right side of that truck. Something we don't normally see, though. Zach Wetside pulling away from Tyler Gacky behind. I say that because you normally don't see drivers pull away on a drafting track like Michigan, but Zach's figured something out and he's just pulling away. I agree, Cole. It does look like some of these guys are getting a little tight and dirty air. We got some 3 wide racing back here. Aaron Adcock stuck in the middle. Jeff Paisley almost gets into the side of Charles Stevens, as this is a mess back here from 6th on back. Pegleg, though, still in this hard battle with Josh Smith for the 3rd position. As Smith moves up to take that 3rd position away from Chuck. And right behind him, we have Josh Oswald trying to make his way up to the lead. I know Phil Manza said Josh Oswald was going to win this race, and currently he's in 5th place, so he's putting himself in a position to win as Chuck and Josh Smith continue the battle side by side. And Zach Wetside continues to pull away from Tyler Gackey. Zach's built up over a 2nd lead over Gackey now. A little further back, we still have a great battle going on back here with this group of trucks. See the 18 of Jim McClendon getting around Charles Stevens now. Move McClendon up into the 8th position. He's going to set his sights on the 5 of Brent Grenwald. As Aaron Adcock still under attack here. Lokovitz has now gone by. And Alex Veith looking to be the next one to get around Aaron Adcock. Patrick Drabick on pit road, getting that damage fixed, getting tires put on that machine as well, and he's down and away. But he's going to lose a lap. He's just got passed by Garrett Kinder. So a tough break. We see Zach Wetside continue the lead and continue to stretch his lead. And now his lead is up to just over a 2.5 over Tyler Gackey. Here goes Alex Veith. Try to get around Tyler Adcock, or Aaron Adcock, excuse me. Looks like Veith's got a little bit of damage to the right side of his machine as well. Maybe got up into the side of somebody earlier in the race, but it's not slowing him down any as he's able to get right around Aaron Adcock to move himself into 12th position. And Drabick, I think that was a smart move for him coming down to pit road, because you can make it on fuel from here, so the window for fuel is open. I'm starting to think maybe Tyler Gackey and these guys back here are starting to save a little bit of fuel as Zach Wetside continues to pull away. Zach currently running 0.3 of a second faster than anybody else on track that has not pit. Aaron Adcock continues his backward slide as Kyle Roberts, last week's winner, and Christian Dedman make their way on by. Garrett Kinder now hits pit road. Our points leader on the pit road. I'm sure he's going to come down, and it actually doesn't look like he has any damage to that truck, so maybe he just didn't take tires on that last, almost overruns his pit stall. As Zach's going to put Kinder another lap down. And you can see the lead that Zach has stretched out as Josh Smith and Tyler Gackey are side by side. Move Josh Smith up into the 2nd position. So I imagine in the next few laps we're going to start seeing some more green flag pit stops among our leaders. As Pegleg makes an aggressive move to get around Tyler Gackey here. He's got a big push from Josh Oswald. You see Gackey getting a little loose up there on that high side. Still just not able to make the pass. Mike Veith having some issues. Went off track, back on track. Car in front of him is smoking as well. That's Mickey Isaac with some heavy damage. No caution. Let's see if we can see what happened here between with Mike and Mickey here. Oh, Mike catches the wall, comes right down, spins Mickey. Mickey hits the wall hard. Fortunately, nobody running around them at this time. So the two of them able to keep going without bringing out the yellow flag. But a tough break for Mickey Isaac. Jeff Paisley now working his way around Pegleg. Pegleg's going to fight back hard on that high side. Aaron Adcock just hit pit road. For one of our first to hit pit road. He's going to get that damage fixed. Take 4 tires, take fuel, get out there and make it to the end. Ooh, Gackey really loose off the corner, using every inch of track. Dave Jones hit pit road as well. I'm just interested to see when our leaders are going to start hitting pit road. As you see, Jim McClendon, we're on that low side trying to get around Josh Oswald. Josh Lokovitz, Alex Smith, Todd Schott all on pit road now. So green flag pit stops have begun as we have just 25 laps to go here at Michigan to settle it. And Josh Smith not able to run down Zach Wetstein. Zach still 1/10 of a second faster than anybody else on track. As Pegleg gets back around Jeff Paisley to retake that 3rd position. Tyler Gackey on the pit road. We'll watch Zach here as he comes off a turn number 2. Does he get ready to pit here under green, or is he going to stay out a couple more laps? Tyler Rice on pit road as well. See what Zach does here. It looks like he's running a little higher here, so I don't think he's going to peel off, which he does not. Let's see what Josh Smith does here. Josh is going to come to pit road along with Jeff Paisley. Oh, Paisley almost runs into the back of Smith. I don't think Paisley was able to get that slowed down in time. Brett Grunwald, Josh Oswald, Sam Wetstein, Christian Dedman, Bulldozer Griffith, Kyle Roberts all on pit road. Let's see if Zach comes in this time. Yep, sounds like he's slowing down, getting ready to come down to pit road. And let's see if anybody else follows him. Looks like Pegleg slowing down to hit pit road as well. Jim McClendon, Charles Stevens all on pit roads. Spencer Gay, Ken Farmer. Pegleg going to pit right in front of Zach here. Oh, Pegleg misses his pit stall. He has to back up. That's going to cost him a ton of time. An unfortunate error there for the 75 as Zach Wetstein gets rolling Gary Wright, currently your leader, coming off of turn number 2. And Pegleg falling back through the field. Pegleg currently in 14th, loses a ton of time. So Gary Wright, excuse me, did stay out just a little bit longer. And I imagine he's going to have to come down to pit road relatively soon, as he was last on pit road on lap number 22. Ooh, see the flames shoot out the side of that truck. He was pushing pretty hard. Ryan Huff says, I don't know what I've done, and someone ran up on me like that. Getting into the pits, that was close. That was close. Kolb says, Griff's truck is awesome. It is awesome. Let's see what Gary Wright does here, if he continues to stay out, which it looks like he is. I can't believe that that truck is still out on track. So you saw last time he got really, really tight off the corner. That time he's able to keep it down just a little bit, but now Zach Wetstein, his lead has shrank as Aaron Adcock now, with this big group behind him, gaining on Aaron, did come in on lap 49, so his tires are just a little bit older than everybody else's, but he's got the new truck as he was able to get that cleaned up or reset, as Gary Wright has now hit pit road, and Zach Wetstein will assume the lead as they come by the start-finish line. Tough break for Pegleg, currently sitting back in the 17th position after having such a great start and a great run. He's hoping for a caution, see if he can get himself back up to the front, but Aaron Adcock and this pack behind him continuing to try to run down Zach Wetstein. He's got his Dark Horse Motorsport teammate behind him with Josh Lokovitz. We'll see if they can draft together to get up to the front. See Jeff Paisley working that low lane, but to no avail as he's got no help down there. As they continue to run side by side, but they're still running down Zach. Now Zach last time by was 0.2 of a second quicker than this pack back here because they're running side by side. Lokovitz gets a little loose there, almost gets into the back quarter panel of his teammate. But Adcock, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. But Kevin continues to try to move. I'm sorry. Aaron Adcock continues to try to move forward here to try to run Zach Wetstein down. But Paisley wants no part of it. He wants to continue to try to take over this second position from Adcock. When they cross the line this time, we'll have just 15 laps to go. Now Josh Smith takes it down 3 wide. Going into turn number 3. Doesn't really make it stick, though. Pushes up the track just a little bit. That allows Adcock to continue to stay out in front. As Jeff Paisley's giving him the big push down the front stretch. We have 15 laps to go here at Michigan. And Zach Wetstein's lead continues to grow over this pack. We saw the first race, a group like this of 4 or 5 trucks were able to run down 2. Right now, we have got 4 trucks that aren't able to run down 1. As Zach is just continuing to pull away. The last thing Zach wants to see, though, is a yellow flag. That would tighten this field back up. But the way these guys up here are running, it's very, very likely that one could come out. And now Jeff Paisley moves out in front of this group. Now let's see if he can try to run down Zach Wetstein. As Zach is continuing to pull away lap after lap. And Adcock again under fire. That's going to move Brett Grunwald out in front. Now Grunwald is actually not part of this group. He's currently 27th, so he's just trying to help his teammate out here of Jeff Paisley trying to get up to the front. Now Jeff still not able to cut into Wetstein's lead. Zach's lead is over 2 seconds now as he's continuing to run about almost 0.3 of a second faster than this pack. Tight battle back here as well as we see Christian Denman trying to get around Charles Stevens. We see Griff and Kyle Roberts back here as well. This is for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. As Griffith's trying to get down underneath the 3 of Christian Denman. Josh Oswald now making a move around Tyler Gackey. Trying to take over that 6th position. And he's going to do it, so move Oswald, 7th position. Move Oswald up to 7th. Josh Smith looking down underneath the 7 of Paisley. They're coming up on the lap truck of Dave Jones. Smith does move himself up into 2nd. And now he's going to see if he can pull the group around to try to catch Wetstein. With 10 laps to go, Zach Wetstein's lead continues to grow. So he comes off of turn number 4. We're going to have just 9 laps to go when he crosses the line this time. Josh Smith and Jeff Paisley now trying to work around some lap traffic. They've got the 9 of Mike Beef. So Mike's going to stay down on the low side, let the leaders on by. Some more tight racing back here as we see a battle with William Griffith and Tyler Gackey. Griff trying to move himself into the top 10. Currently just barely outside looking in. As now Griff gets down to the bottom. You try to take away that 10th position. Colt, we've had 2 cautions. First caution came out on lap 11. Second caution came out on lap 22. Oh, Gackey up into the wall. Our first caution had Garrett Kinder involved. It's Kinder and Sam Wetstein crashed real hard on the front stretch. That's why Kinder is currently a lap down, running in 27th. Then we had a caution. Oh, Paisley really loose off of turn number 2. He's going to kill all his momentum. That's going to allow his teammate, who is currently a lap down, to get in front of him here. Josh Smith continues to run in second. Zach Wetstein continues to lead and continues to grow his lead. Now Grunwald looking down to the inside again. This is not for position. Jeff Paisley back onto the back bumper of Josh Smith, trying to retake that second position as he's going to look down to the inside. Side by side through turns 3 and 4, and as they cross the line this time, we're going to have just 5 laps to go. Zach Wetstein's lead continues to grow. Patrick Drabick sitting back in 19th, trying to get around Tyler Rice. Led so much at the beginning of this race before making contact with the outside wall and ruining his day. Chuck Feltz right up in the top 3 all night long. Currently running back in 13th after missing his pit stall and having to back up. William Griffith now moving himself into the 9th position around Christian Dedman. And then Josh Smith and Jeff Paisley continuing to battle up front here for the 2nd position. Wetstein with a humongous lead now, almost 4 seconds. As we take a look from the blimp here, show you what 4 seconds looks like on track. There's 2nd place. And there's Zach. So they're not even in the same picture right now as your leader. As your leader's just coming into turn number 3. 2nd and 3rd all the way back. So Zach comes across the line here. We're going to have just 2 laps to go. And again, the last thing that Zach wants to see right now is a caution. That would change everything here. But Zach just currently in cruise control as he works through turns 3 and 4. As long as he takes the white flag, there will be no yellows, and he'll have just 1 lap to complete the race. And here we go. White flag is in the air, 1 lap with a 4-second lead. As Aaron Adcock had some issues. Gets off track and continues on. No caution as the white flag is in the air. Zach comes off of turn number 2 with a 4-second lead over Josh Smith. Josh Smith and Jeff Paisley continue to battle, but Paisley's just too far back as Zach Wetstein is going to come off of turn number 4 through the tri-oval across the line. Your winner tonight, Zach Wetstein, getting his 6th win of the season. Josh Smith comes home 2nd, Jeff Paisley in 3rd, Josh Lokovitz fourth, and Aaron Adcock with the damaged truck comes home in fifth. It's all about Zach Wetstein tonight and that Colts machine. The Colts didn't play today, so they couldn't let him down, and he's had so much luck running that paint job. So he's going to come celebrate on the front stretch here. That's a driver who's done a few burnouts this year, as you can see. And the Colts truck gets punted. It continues. I know Zach runs in VR, and he may not be having a very good time right now inside that truck. Let's take a look at your results. And your winner tonight, Zach Wetstein. Josh Smith comes home second. Jeff Paisley third. Josh Lokovitz fourth. Aaron Adcock comes home in fifth. Josh Oswald in sixth. Jim McClendon, Charles Stevens Jr., William Griffith, and Kyle Roberts come home top 10. Christian Dedman 11th. Pegleg comes home in 12th. Ken Farmer, Tyler Gackey, and Alex Veith round out your top 15. Then Spencer Gay, Todd Schott, Tyler Rice, Sam Wetstein, Patrick Drabick, Jason Lotridge, Gary Wright, Mickey Isaac, Brett Grunwald in 24th, Mike Veith 25th, Dave Jones 26th, Garrett Kinder with a tough break in 27th, and Brandon Wallace round out the field in 28th. But let's talk with our top three tonight here. As we're going to get into our Shappy Edits post-race interviews. Let's start with the number 7 of Jeff Paisley. Jeff, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I gotcha.
Man, great run tonight. Coming home in third. Looked like you and Josh were battling pretty hard, but just didn't have anything for Zach. Was there a point where you guys thought about lining up to try to catch Zach? Or were you just trying to race it out there because you thought maybe a caution would come out? Or what was the thought behind that tonight?
Well, I definitely wanted to get in the line, but then he passed me. So then I was going to get in the line behind him. But then we kept seeing that Zach was getting the lap traffic and getting the draft, and there was no way we were going to catch him. So I figured we'd just start racing. And it was fun. We went back and forth quite a bit, Josh and I did.
Yeah, fun race for sure. Looked like early in the race and on fresh tires, you could really just put the truck wherever you wanted. And there was a lot of side-by-side, 3-wide racing trucks moving all over the place. How was the overall race for you besides that?
Oh, it was fun. It was the funnest race, I think, of the season for me so far. We've had a kind of a rough season. Very up and down, hence the being way back in like 14th in points, although this probably will help that a little bit, although now the chase is going to start, so it'll all start all over again. But it was probably the funnest race of the year for me.
For sure. And before we let you go, Jeff, anybody you want to thank? Any shout-outs you got to give?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I want to thank the league for putting on the race, of course. Arcadian Motorsports. You can follow us on Facebook. Butt Kicker is our big sponsor. Check them out. They're a great company, and their product's great. I was using it tonight. You can definitely tell when you're going through the corners and whatnot. McConey Setup Shops, Mr. Willie P Designs, and Ray's Energy. If you go over to their website and try their stuff, use our Arcadian 7 code, and you can get 15% off your order.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations as the playoffs move on to, was it North Wilkesboro next week? How do you like your chances on the short track?
Oh, those are so up and down for me. It's hard to say. Sometimes I can get top 10. Sometimes I'm out by halfway. So it's kind of hard to say.
Well, congratulations and good luck moving into the playoffs.
All right, man. Thanks.
Let's bring up your second place finisher, Josh Smith. Josh, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, great job coming home, bringing that Air Force truck, that sweet paint job in the second place tonight. A lot of hard battling there towards the end. Did you think if you guys would have gotten in line, you would have had something for Zach?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. He was doing really well. He was definitely pulling on us all night. I mean, he had a whole other gear, but I just I was content with the top three, to be honest with you. Wasn't really pushing. I mean, a win would be awesome, but a top three in this lineup is an amazing accomplishment in itself. So yeah, I was happy with it.
Yeah, for sure. And you're also tonight's Ray Cobb Hard Charger Award, moving 15 spots from the beginning. Just want to throw that out there as well. But coming down to the end, you and Jeff having a great battle there. Were tires kind of a factor? Because it looked like you guys were starting to get a little swirly there towards the end, or was it just a matter of just hard racing there?
I think well, the tires definitely after like 15 laps really fell off, but I tried saving as much as I could. After that green flag pit stop, well, actually on the green flag pit stop, uh, Paisley about took me out going into pit lane, so luckily we didn't have carnage there. But coming out, just getting in with those other two cars, and there was four of us just basically bunched up. I felt like I was a lot faster than all three of them in front of me, but it just took me a while to finally get out, and I think I ate up a lot of tire that would have potentially let me catch up to Zach. But by the time we got past them, he already had a 2.5 second lead, which is hard to make up here at this track in 15 laps.
Well, solidly into the top five in playoff points here, easily moving on into the playoffs in a couple weeks. How do you like your chances moving forward, starting with North Wilkesboro in 2 weeks?
Just stay out of trouble there. If you can stay out of trouble, I think you can move on to the next round. A track can be very cautious, so it's better to just stay out front and not get caught up in anything. Um, Probably my least favorite of the playoff tracks, but we'll take it one race at a time.
For sure. And again, before we let you go, anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give tonight?
Yes, I'd like to thank my wife and my kids for letting me participate here in iRacing. Also like to thank Hall Heating and Sheet Metal for their series sponsorship here. Also the Thin Blue Line USA, uh, Peg Leg Felts, Magic Mike Motorsports, Shappy Edits, Smeal Racing Designs, Kinder Farm and Ranch, and most importantly, the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds for sponsoring my rig, putting that Chevy out front. So
Yeah,
thank you up there as well, Josh, for your great work in the booth.
I appreciate that. And that is a sharp looking truck. Uh, I grew up, I live right next to an Air Force base, so I've been watching the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds for many years, and always enjoy watching the shows that they put on and the work that the Air Force does out there.
Well, thank you, and you have a good night, man.
You as well. So that was your second place finisher, Josh Smith. Let's bring in your winner tonight, Zach Wedstein. Zach, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, another dominating performance tonight here at Michigan. And how were you able to pull away from everybody? As usually a track like Michigan, where it's a high drafting, big packs, you were just pulling away from the group behind you. What was the secret to pulling away? Or are you not able to give that away?
Oh man, not really no secret. It's just I think Feltz and Drabick got together before I started to pull away, and that gave me about probably a second lead over them. And we had gotten to old tires, and that is the one thing. Once you get to old tires and you actually have to drive the truck more, if you have a lead where the draft doesn't come into play, you can start to run away if you have a fast enough truck. And that's what I was able to do, and probably stayed out a little too long, gave up some ground. My pit, I didn't get into pits great because I just didn't want to. I didn't want to do what I did at Chicagoland and just blow past pit road. So I was kind of slow getting in. I don't know if you saw, but I slid past my pit a little bit. Was able to recover from that. Ended up giving up some time, but came out about a second ahead of them, and thankfully they raced each other on that last run. And by the time tires got old, I was 2 or 3 seconds ahead, and just was worrying about a caution at that point.
For sure. I know that was what I kept saying was the last thing you'd want to see is a caution. one thing I do got to bring up is since you've been running that Colts paint job, it seems like you've been dominant in the series. Is that been a little bit of your good luck charm?
I guess so. I never thought about it. I just kind of left it on because it was a great paint done by Garrett. But yeah, maybe maybe that'll help the Colts turn around as well. They won today finally, so um, I mean, I'll ride it out as long as I can, I guess, if it is a good luck charm. But man, we're heading to the playoffs. Thankfully, I was able to, unfortunately for Garrett, he had a horrible race tonight. Just bad luck altogether, and I was able to get the regular season championship from that. So I'll take it. I'll take those bonus points. But if last season proved anything, man, the playoffs are a different beast, and once the points reset and all that's left are bonus points, that's when it gets crazy.
Speaking of playoffs, we move on to North Wilkesboro in a couple weeks. How do you like your chances there?
Well, the only time we've run there in this series, I was able to grab the victory last season. So I feel pretty good there. I got the win there in the 87s, which means absolutely nothing compared to these cars, or these trucks. But yeah, I overall feel pretty good about the track, but I know that a lot of these other drivers do as well, and so it's going to be a race to tune into. I think it's going to be, other than maybe Vegas, I think it's going to be the best race of the playoffs. So people definitely need to tune in for that one because it's gonna be fun inside the truck and out.
Well, before you let you go, anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs you got to give?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody in the league, especially tonight, we put on a great show. Um, Seth Griffith, who took over as the overall league commissioner. He's done a great job. All the admins, you for broadcasting, the double headers, Hall Heating and Sheet Metal, Ken Farmer running that. Thin Blue Line USA, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Southwest T-shirt design. You can check them out on Facebook. Shappy Edits, Meal Racing Designs, Magic Mike Motorsports, Seth Griffith again. Peg Leg Felt, he's getting a lot better, and he was up there for a little while, and he's going to continue to do that. P&J Motorsports, my parents, as always. And yeah, I guess go Colts for actually winning a game today.
You know, I wasn't going to say it, but Pegleg actually outqualified you tonight.
Yeah, he did. He's gonna have to stop doing that. He's just getting too good. He got a new wheel, new pedals, and all of a sudden he's up here taking races away from us. He's gonna, if he can, just like my dad, if he can put races together, he's gonna be up here fighting for wins soon.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you know what happened. He had a great race, and then he slid through his pit stall, had to back up, and that's what cost him his chance up here tonight. But again, congrats on the regular season championship. And as the season goes on, I'm looking forward to talking to you again soon.
I appreciate it.
Well, there you have it, your winner tonight, Zach Wetstein, your regular season champion. As we take next week off from competition in the truck series, we've got a couple special events next week. We have a ladies race next week to benefit breast cancer awareness. So check that out. That's going to be at 7 Eastern here on Intensity Broadcasting. Followed by the Original Rebels Racing League All-Star Race. So that's going to be unique because we have winners from all walks of the Original Rebels Leagues. Whether you want to race in the Outlaws, in the Rebels, in the Xfinity, in the Cup Series, believe in the Dirt Series, the 87. So if you've won a race in the Original Rebels, you are eligible to run that race. So that's going to be a fun run. That's going to be at Auto Club. So check that one out next week. Again, it's going to be a non-standings race, but it's going to be the All-Star race. So 2 good races to check out next week here at Intensity Broadcasting. And as always, thank you for joining us here tonight. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. It really does help us out. Follow us on Twitter, Intensity Broad 1. Check it out on eRacing TV. That's eSpace Racing TV on the Fire Stick and the Roku. And as always, our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.